There you go. Okay.
Is there a trash can in this room? No. Why would we have a trash can in the studio?
No.
Okay, I think I got
The
it.
whole place is for trash.
It's just one giant trash can.
It's a place for old coffee cups.
Old
murky
coffee
pools. Old murky pools, Congleton.
Okay. I'm going to go live on our Instagram while we figure it out.
Okay, hold on. I gotta put this on the Facebook. I swore I put it to start at 9:15.
Ooh, I need to connect to our Wi-Fi in here.
Yeah, the internet is being really bad.
Yeah, can connect to the one in the house.
I'm connected to the fancy one, I thought.
What's the one back here called?
Wi-Fi B6 something.
B6559F.
Mm-hmm.
What's the house one?
Seabirds or the new batch.
I like seabirds.
Seabirds is cute.
It is. I get it.
The connection here is real slow in this room right now.
I'm not using the internet, so I don't know.
I'm going to turn off my internet connection.
Oh, wait, shit. Why is this so difficult? I think people are watching.
They're just watching you say, why is this so difficult?
I think they're just watching me going, I don't know how to do this. All right, let me just.
I can relate. Just live.
Okay. Let me put it on the reading glasses page too. Shit.
I love it. There's a giant synth in between you two.
Okay, so now we're live on the reading glasses page. There's Mallory trying to figure out how to work YouTube.
Oh, are you doing the?
We're on Instagram live.
We're double live.
We're double live. Here.
Okay. Oh yeah, we have 13 viewers. Hi everyone. Sorry about the confusion. YouTube changed a bunch of things around and our old link doesn't work and we can't figure out how to make it work. So we're doing this thing. We're also on Instagram live stories. That's half of Brea.
So we are live here. Mallory, go sit in your seat and see if we can.
Wait,
this
hold
is
on.
too short, huh?
Wait, let me get this done.
Too tall. We didn't figure this out beforehand. Why would we? Why would we bother figuring it out beforehand? Mallory, can you sit like there? You're gonna be
Any coffee.
Hi everybody joining on Instagram, and I'll be in charge of this Instagram. You guys, hey guys, that's Sean in the background. That's Mallory being concerned.
Oh, Mallory's always concerned. Say hi, Sean.
Hi, Sean.
Okay, there's.
Oh, there we go. Ooh, good job.
Here we go.
Okay,
so we're not going to be able to see you,
want,
Sean.
like the close-up
That's
view
okay.
of Mallory, you go that one. If you want the close-up view of Brea, you got to go Instagram.
Okay, hold on.
So so what we're doing is we're live streaming our recording today because we reached over 500 reviews on iTunes.
Great.
It's still early here, everybody. It's still very early. Hi, everybody. Purple hair, don't care. That's right. And so now you get to see the chaos that happens when we try to record our show.
Every time.
It's complicated. Purple hair, don't care.
Hold on.
Mallory.
People are saying it doesn't work.
How's everybody's morning going? This is the podcast studio. Today we're recording 2 episodes. One is about retellings, and we have the author L. McKinney on the show. We did an interview with her before this, so you can look at that. And then we're also doing one about out of print books and bookmark
Okay.
display. Yeah. Hopefully you tuned into the right
All right, we have
podcast live stream because it's
I know
this is
I
the kind of
fucked
shit we're all about.
I fucked it all up.
What happened?
No. I'm just apologizing to people
Oh no, you're fine.
and
Sure,
putting
it's
it
fine.
on
It's
Twitter.
fine. I'm sorry. Are people very angry that we're 5 minutes late?
No. I don't think people are angry.
Hi UK. Hi from the UK. Oh, you're up late. No, you're up at a normal hour, aren't you? Just want to say congrats on 500 reviews. That's incredible. Thank you so much. We're excited. We're getting closer to
Mallory sits here. Can she be seen?
Yeah.
She's cool.
Really good. Let's see how many reviews we have now. Our internets are running slow. We have 523 reviews, and when we get to 600, we'll do something else. I'm not sure what it is.
Okay, we have 24 people watching. Okay.
Hi.
I don't even have any
Hi,
fucking
New Hampshire.
coffee yet.
Hi, Norfolk. Oh, I forgot to get you a water. Do you want a water? Is it too late?
It's fine.
I
No water
took
for
the
you.
dog in. I wasn't paying attention.
It's fine.
You can eat donuts.
I can't have any of these. I'm sorry. I have to do off my phone.
No problem. So we have people watching from New Hampshire. We have people watching from
You want to do retellings
the
first?
UK. Oh yeah, you're doing it from your phone?
Yeah, I have to.
I have an extra computer in my house.
You have an extra computer.
It doesn't work that well, but I still have it. And it
It's
runs
a
out of
piece of
batteries.
shit.
It runs out of batteries in about 5 minutes. It's constantly being plugged in, or it fails.
It's
Hi everybody. Got a lot of people up here on Instagram.
Hi everybody. Okay.
Hi.
Welcome to the live recording
Can
of reading
people
glasses.
write on there? Can they write
Yes.
on that one too?
But they're not. No one's typed anything yet.
Okay. So cool to see this side of things. Isn't it boring?
This is
it's
how-
gonna be so boring.
We're so bad at this. Thank God for Sean.
What's he doing?
Sean's just being
Sean
great.
is here. Sean, you want to say hi to everybody on the live streams? The various live streams?
Walk into the middle of
Walk
this.
to the middle of the
Where
live
you're
streams.
in the middle of the streams.
Crossing
You know it's supposed to
There's
cross
Sean.
them.
Sean, are you reading a new book you want to talk about on the show today?
I'm not reading a new
No,
book at the
coffee.
moment. I'm just like trying to find sleep.
Okay.
All right,
Yeah.
I'm
So Sean's
on
not going to talk on the show today. This
No.
is how the show works. We say, Sean, do you want to talk about a book?
Are you wearing a Goonie shirt? That's a great shirt.
Yeah, I got this at a clothes swap. Pretty good. Okay, cool. So we're doing 2 episodes today. Feel free to tune in and out, but you're welcome
This
to
is
watch
how-
the entire thing.
This is how
what
it
we
looks
do.
when we record reading glasses. We don't know what we're doing.
Which is interesting because now you know that when we say, what are you reading right now? We're talking about books, like 2 weeks worth of books. So sometimes I've already finished the book and I'm
Yes.
like, oh, I just finished this book because, you know, I don't usually read that many books at the same time. We have so many people on this Instagram.
We have 26 people over here.
Yeah, that's exciting. Okay, cool.
How many people do you have?
19, but people are coming in and out as
Okay.
they do on Instagrams.
I've never. This is my first time live streaming anything on Instagram.
Amazing.
Oh, I should probably set up my mic too, huh?
I think Sean did it. Are you ready? We'll see you.
Yeah.
I feel like you should move like this way a little more for Instagram viewing. A little more.
Oh, the synth.
The synth is in the way.
Yeah. But it's a great sin.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right, we feel happy about where Mallory is. Just don't lean back, Mallory. You see you?
Good posture.
Mm-hmm.
People see me. No one's typing anything.
I feel like that always
Just
happens. to me.
lurking.
I don't feel like
It's not- it's
I
not
don't think
fun.
it's easy to do, or we don't have the. It's like, oh no, what it is? There's like a window that you have to go to, or something. Anyway. Did you tweet it out? Tweet it out.
I tweeted it out. You should retweet it before we start.
Okay. And I logged into my Twitter. Oh, what is?
Somebody posted that they were ready for the live stream with a Twin Peaks gif, and I'm really impressed.
Oh, I was just looking for my phone just now. Isn't that weird?
That is very funny.
I don't know if I can tweet it out because I don't know if I can log into my Twitter right now without having my phone. Free?
Can I look at this YouTube thing? How do I
Yeah,
find
can
it?
you look at it?
You're gonna
please?
watch the live stream
Yeah.
while you're in the room.
Yeah.
Sorry,
I just don't
everybody.
know how to do
I have
it.
to log into my Twitter and I have to get a backup code. Ooh,
How do I? Where did you post the link?
On the Facebook page.
Okay.
And not on the Twitter?
Not on the Twitter.
Okay, so Sean,
No, I did do it on the Twitter.
sorry, everybody. Just a quick pause. Here's our Twitter. Watch live. Oh no, and it's hot in here. Here's a fun fact about podcasting. You gotta turn off the AC. Wow.
Is it working?
Oh no, and it's hot in here. Oh yeah, people are writing. You just can't see it on that thing. They say, "Oh man, I got this on YouTube and my phone, and it is very disconcerting." my brain. Oh hey Noah, Natalie, I tried that. My brain nearly exploded. Sean is a man of the people, is what they just said.
Sean is a man of
Cool
the
shirt,
people.
Mal. Very Baphomet.
Thank you.
Um,
I'm retweeting. Okay, now we can start. You can monitor the comments.
me? Sean can monitor the comments.
I only have my
I haven't
phone.
found the
That's all
comments
I
yet.
have.
You haven't? You can see it. Do you have you'd have to
Oh,
pull up
dicks.
maybe on the computer.
Yeah, I don't know.
Hi. Okay, cool.
Can you believe I've done all of this? with
What
my
snacks
coffee?
will be Brea eating today? I just ate a Lara bar, half of a Lara bar. Also, I had breakfast, which is weird.
Oh yeah, you were gonna make us pancakes.
And then I
said
brought
no.
I offered to make them pancakes. They said no. I brought this
I have the
chocolate
donuts.
bar that's wild rose and sea salt
Wild rose and sea
that
salt.
my mom sent me for my birthday.
Mm.
Thanks for asking, Paul. What shit snacks I'm having today?
Okay.
Cats,
All right.
puppies. I put the dog inside.
Are we
She's
ready
too
to
loud.
rock?
We're
What's
ready.
happening?
So we'll record this, and then maybe we'll take little breaks and answer some of the whatever people are saying. But we'll record it and we'll take our normal breaks.
Okay.
What are we doing first?
So today we are recording an episode about literary retellings. We have a really amazing guest. Obviously, she's not here in the studio, but we already recorded the interview. It is L.L. McKinney, who wrote A Blade So Black, which is a great book. And so you ready?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right,
Oh,
reading
shit.
glasses. What interview? Sean.
Listen, Sean. Hold on. I have to Oh wait, no, I can do it. It's fine. Okay. I may have to re-log in some things because I logged out, but we're good. Let's try it. Let's see what happens.
Is everything good?
I think so. Let's try it. See what happens. I think I'll be fine.
I'm sorry you can't eat these donuts.
Can't eat these donuts. Oh yeah, Mallory brought them.
Do you want a donut
Yeah, sure.
before we start? These are my friends from New England brought me apple cider donuts, but they got really squashed in their luggage. So it's more like donut confetti.
Well, I'm gonna take that.
Yeah, take
that
the
bit.
take the bit that's most together. I'm sorry.
This is
I can't have these
This is
here.
the dorkiest live stream that's ever been done, probably.
We haven't even started
I
talking
know.
about books.
All right.
Okay, here we go. Reading glasses, retelling episode. Here we go. You're listening to Reading Glasses, a show about book culture and literary life designed to help you read better. I'm writer, filmmaker, and book devourer Mallory O'Mara.
And I'm Brea Grant.
We're already screwed up.
It's fine, guys. We edit these. I'm Brea Grant, actress, filmmaker, and e-reader. This episode, we're talking about literary retellings and interviewing author L.L. McKinney. But first, we're live. I've lost my mind.
Yes, this is also just so people listening to this episode know we are, when we recorded this, we live streamed it. So it's a little bit more chaotic than it normally is. But first, I'm dying to know, what are you reading, Brea?
I'm reading a book on my e-reader, so I don't have it to show people on the live stream, called The Last One by Alexandra Oliva, O-L-I-V-A. Oliva? It's about, so I started reading, I took a little trip to the woods, a one-day trip into the woods, and
You did.
This takes place, this book is about a reality TV show in which people have to go and do that thing where they go and they're like, what's that guy's name? Bear McKinney or something? That's not his name. McCreary.
McGrill.
Grills. Bear Grylls.
Bear Grylls.
Grills. I'm saying a composer.
Yeah.
Bear McCreary is a composer. Bear
Not him.
Grylls drinks his own pee.
Okay, we'll cut that. So Bear Grylls, and so it's like that kind of like reality, like survival show, and so they follow all these people. But while that show is happening, a virus sweeps the world and everyone dies except for basically this lady, and she thinks she's still on a reality TV
And she's
show.
like, I fucking won!
And she thinks that the cameras are still following her.
Oh, that's
and things like that. And so
Oh,
they're
that's
flashing.
terrible.
I know. They're flashing back and forth to like the beginning of the reality show to like where she is now, where she's been alone for a few weeks, but she's like she's convinced like all these.
You read this in the woods?
Yeah,
Why
all
would
these
you do that to
horrible things.
yourself?
All these horrible things are happening to her, and so she's like, well, that wolf that just attacked me, it looked mechanical, like so it has to be fake because the show had originally done all this fake stuff to them. So she's like convinced that is what's happening. So it's a really horrifying, like dystopian end of the world apocalypse scenario mixed with the horrible realness of reality television.
Oh my god, I cannot believe you read that while you were in Idlewild.
Yep, totally did. What are you reading, Mallory?
I am listening to an audiobook, The Strange Case of Dr. Cooney by Don Raffel, and it's a nonfiction book. It's like the story of this guy and his wife who's a nurse, and they basically invented incubators.
Oh, cool.
But this was during a time where doctors were like, that's crazy, just let those babies die. Everyone's
incubators
poor.
for babies. When you said that, I assumed it was for chickens, but I don't know why. Incubators were originally made for babies? That's what you're telling me?
These are baby incubators,
Okay.
not like egg incubators.
Okay.
For like babies that are born
What's the
prematurely.
difference, really? Do you even know?
Babies don't need to hatch.
Okay. Laying down truths on reading glasses.
I've never had children, but I'm pretty sure babies don't hatch.
Okay, fair.
Unless you're in a sci-fi book.
Yeah.
In which case, maybe they will. But so back then, this was the time where doctors were like, just thought it was crazy.
Oh, it's like a premature baby was born.
Yeah, they would just let them die.
Ew.
But this guy was like, no, we can save all these babies. So he had this genius idea. He put them on. And so instead of like going to medical conventions and stuff, he went to sideshows in Coney Island.
Oh, yeah.
So he wouldn't charge the parents. They could bring their kids to them for free to save them. But people were charged admission to go see all the incubators with all the babies.
It's actually in my comic book.
What?
The baby incubators in Coney Island, because we have a Coney Island.
Oh,
bit
that's
in it.
crazy.
Yeah, because I thought that was really interesting because they would have these premature babies like on display, but I didn't know that was why.
Yeah, so
Oh,
that was the only way they could get money.
Yeah.
But it's a good audiobook. It's really interesting. It's really just like the story of his life is pretty crazy, and his wife, who is this nurse who really like kept all the babies alive.
Wow.
It's a really good story.
And then what did they do with those babies afterwards?
They became people.
Like,
They
but did
grew.
but did they give them back to the parents?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I didn't think something else was
No, this
happening.
30-year-old guy like in this
Workforce.
incubator.
I understand that they let them out of the incubators. Okay.
So I'm reading The Strange Case of Dr. Cooney by Don Raffel.
And I'm reading the last one by Alexandra Oliva. Shit, how do we think we say this?
Oliva.
Maybe.
Sure. Theme music episode. Also, first off, we have to address a grave concern here. Got a lot of feedback about this. Folks, the capital of Nebraska is not Omaha.
Not Omaha, apparently. The capital of Nebraska.
It's Lincoln.
It's Lincoln. Apparently.
We're deeply sorry.
We are so sorry to all the Nebraskans out there.
We have offended
Nebraskonians.
Nebraskans.
Nebraskians? I don't really.
We're gonna, you know what? We're gonna have to find a book convention in Nebraska to go to make amends to Nebraska.
I'm so sorry. I'm sure I said that. The person with an American Studies master's degree. I just want to point that out.
I thought it was Omaha.
But neither
too.
of us corrected, and Sean didn't correct us either.
Yeah, Australian. We're blaming this solely on you.
Remember, I didn't know where Chicago was for a very long time. A very long time. I still have some ideas.
Who can say where Chicago is? For our reading music episode, Shanna wrote in, when I write, I also make playlists, and I have a few I made for my favorite characters and books written by others. Your episode also reminded me of something not a lot of people know about. Wizard rock.
Oh my.
It's an entire underground genre of music dedicated solely to the Harry Potter series, and while a lot of it is super bad, it's so bad that it's amazing. You know what I mean. I admit, we do. I admit that I've spent my fair share of time listening to it. My favorite wizard rock band is Ministry of Magic.
Look what they did. Sean,
you got to get on that. Make some wizard rock.
Is she saying that these are made just for Harry Potter theme? Like they're like Harry Potter
Harry
themed?
Potter
Because I
themed
feel like
music.
wizard rock is a thing outside.
It's basically power metal,
Right. Okay.
but wizard rock. This is like specifically Harry Potter themed.
Everyone listening on our live stream can realize how much we cut this in post now. Okay. Vanessa wrote in and said, my go-to for reading was classical music. It's pretty easy to find stations or playlists. Sorry, man, I'll have to look at this. It's pretty easy to find stations or playlists from all sorts of sources, depending on where I am and what I have access to while reading. I then moved on to instrumental rock guitar, Buckethead, or John 5. It fit a lot better with my usual music listening and fits well with the sci-fi fantasy stuff that I read. Last year, when reading My Brilliant Friend by Elena Ferrante, I started playing music from the time period of the book. I enjoyed that very much, and it took me into the setting even more. When I read American Gods, I found a Spotify playlist someone had made for listening to while reading the book. Choosing music for specific books has become a fun addition to my reading life. FYI, if you're an Amazon Prime subscriber, who isn't, you have access to Amazon Music, and they have quite a few playlists for reading specific genre. That's in like she said, reading specific genre in parentheses. They also have playlists for different types of music for reading or studying, and great ambient sound playlists as well.
Cool.
Rad.
So Amber wrote in, I definitely get distracted very easily, even while reading, so I need noise of some sort, but lyrics are also distracting. My best bet is often ASMR videos, especially those in other languages or without any words at all. It gives me something calming to listen to that I know I enjoy, but doesn't take away from the experience of the book. It's especially helpful in the break room at work. Maria Gentle Whispering and her videos in Russian are a personal favorite. That's interesting. ASMR videos scare the absolute shit out of me. I know some people love them, but when I listen to them, I just feel like I'm about to get possessed.
I can go down such a rabbit hole with them though, because I'll listen to more things happen. Because sometimes they're just noises; they're not speaking, and that's when it gets really, really.
But I understand that they bring a lot of comfort to people, so I'm glad they exist. So you can always email us at readingglassespodcast@gmail.com. Quick bookmark today for me. I'm very excited. So for all the librarians listening, and this is North American librarians, just heads up for everyone, Canada and America. I don't know about Mexico. So you can, right now my book is available on NetGalley. Lady from the Black Lagoon is finally up on NetGalley. And so you can request it on NetGalley. My publisher promises to send you a digital galley because they love you. And if you do love the book, one of the biggest things you guys can do to help, I'm going to start that over. I'm working on the guys thing. So if you do love the book, one of the biggest things you folks can do to help me out is share your love. Why can't I say this sentence? So if you do love the book, one of the biggest things you can do to share your love for my book and help me out is vote for my book on Library Reads. The deadline is February 1st. If you need more info, just contact me. I'll forward you on to Lynette Kim, who is my library marketing person over at Hanover Square Press. She is amazing.
I need more info. What is Library Reads?
It's some librarian thing.
Okay, great.
But if you want to help me and support my book, you can request it on NetGalley. And if you love it, vote for it on Library Reads. It really, really makes a big difference. I would really, really appreciate it. There's a lot of big things happening with my book that I can't announce yet, but they are in the works. They're very exciting. And I really so appreciate all the folks that have reached out and supported and pre-ordered and requested from the library and emailed, and all the librarians and booksellers that have emailed. It means so much to me. Thank you. Thank you.
I want to do a quick bookmark, which is I did a podcast that I want to shout out to called The Process. It went up to today when we're recording this. So it went up last week. But it's a really cool podcast where she interviews artists and they talk about what their process is for making things. So if you want to hear me talk about being a writer and a director and an actor and trying to balance all those things, that's a good place. We really get into it.
Yeah, you folks should really go listen to it.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like all of our friends out in LA do a bunch of things, but I don't know many people who do them as well as Brea does.
Oh, well, you get to see. You get to hear me talk about a lot of self-deprecating stuff on it, and how to talk about how I shouldn't be self-deprecating. So it's called The Process, and it's on iTunes or wherever you get your podcasts.
And our 5-star review of the week is from H.M. Mead, who is reading The Psychology of Gender and Sexuality, The Denial of Death, and Rat Queens, which is be my friend, H.M., because clearly we have a lot of things in common. So before we talk about literary retellings, we're going to take a quick break.
Over on the YouTube page, people are saying that they love John Carpenter. Paul says he loves John Carpenter soundtracks for horror movies.
Cool.
And horror novels. And Sarah's asking, anyone else keeping their fingers crossed for a Mallory book tour?
I can't say anything about that, except keep your eyes peeled.
Keep those fingers crossed.
And also keep your ears peeled. which sounds really
Heal those
horrifying.
ears.
There's some audio news coming at some point.
Audio news.
Audio
The best way to get your news through the audio.
Yeah, there's so much cool stuff like in the works that I can't talk about yet. It's killing me. All right.
Yep.
So this week, it's all about literary retellings. What does that mean? Should you read them? What if you've read one and you don't even know about it?
You do that.
Okay. So a literary retelling is basically just an old story that's told in a new way. It's retold in a different time period, in a different setting, with robots and space, with gender-flipped characters, etc., etc. It can be an old story like Beowulf, or a classic fairy tale, or something newer like a Jane Austen story.
And in film, we might call these like a remake or a reboot. And in theater or in book form, a pretty famous one is Wicked.
Yes.
Like, so think about Wicked as a really cool retelling from a different point of view of a character, and we're all kind of familiar with that story, I think.
Yeah. So I used to avoid retellings because I was one of those like insufferable, like the original story is better, like, blah, 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 fucking garbage people. But it's so stupid because there's so many great books that are great original retellings. And plus, like good old Joseph Campbell says in his book about storytelling, The Hero with a Thousand Faces, so many of our classic stories are really similar. Like even in ancient religions, there's so much crossover.
We are literally telling the same story. There's like 3 stories and we just tell them over and over again.
Yeah.
And even the ones like that you divide and you're like, it's man versus nature, man versus man. It's still the same story.
Yeah. So don't like. I feel like if you don't want to read retellings, you're missing out on a lot of great books. And just because you want to stick with the original, like branch out.
Mm-hmm.
Brea, do you like retellings?
I do. I think it gives you a really great place to start. So you already know that story, or maybe you don't. But a lot of times the retellings are stories that you kind of already are aware of, and you know a little bit about the characters. And I'm always interested to see how an author can take that point of view from a different character or change the story with different characters. It's like the musical chairs of the literary world.
Yeah.
Or, I had another idea, but I just forgot it.
That's okay.
It's like, or it's like a cover song. You know how when you're like listening to a song and there's a song you like and then a band covers it and you're like, I already am familiar with this song, so now I'm going to get familiar with this band covering this song. It's a way to like kind of like slip in new bands on that mixtape of life. I'm doing a lot of metaphors. But I used to do that. When I would make mixtapes for people, I'd always make sure to include like 3 or 4 cover songs because then people would be like, oh, I know Walking on Sunshine. I've just never heard this version. I don't know a cover song of Walking on Sunshine. I was just trying to think of like a song that I would put on there. I can't think of it.
I can't think.
But like this is sort of like the cover version, but not. But not at all.
No, I get it. So yeah, nowadays I actually actively seek out retellings. I just think it's so cool to get a new take on a story. Especially my favorite thing that's been happening the past few years is just like a super inclusive take.
Yeah.
Because obviously in so many old stories it's just like dudes.
Yeah, dudes,
like
white people.
dudes.
And the people should definitely listen to our interview because that's exactly what A Blade So Black does, which is really interesting.
So yeah, give me a gender swap classic story any day. One of my favorites is Voice No Bird by Helen Oyeyemi.
Mm-hmm.
People who listen to the show know that I love Helen Oyeyemi so much. And Voice No Bird is like, it's a wicked, weird, and amazing version of Snow White.
It's truly weird fiction, though.
It's super weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, and when our guest this episode got pitched to us, and I heard that her book was basically like, if Buffy the Vampire Slayer fell down the rabbit hole instead of Alice, I was like, oh, give me that shit. Give me that shit right now. Yeah, especially love anything werewolfy, so I'm always on the lookout for like Little Red Riding Hood retellings, Beauty and the Beast retellings, and short stories like Angela Carter's The Bloody Chamber collection. Is amazing. It's a short story collection, and it's a bunch of like retellings of classic fairy tales, but like feminist and fucking fucked up and shit.
Yeah, because I think the thing is we all like recognize that fairy tales sometimes don't have the greatest message, and I love that people are taking them and going like, here's a message that you can get down with, but also using characters you know and love.
Yes. Yeah. And also here are where like there's so many fairy tales can be a little flat. So like, all right, I'm going to take this character that you know just a little bit about and make them super well rounded and give them like motivations. Because let's be real, sometimes you listen to like old mythology stories or old fairy tales and like you're like, this doesn't make any fucking sense. Like this girl was walking through the woods and all of a sudden a golden goose appeared and you're like, wait, what? So I feel like retellings are a really cool way to like delve into that story. Like, how did that goose get there? Why is she walking in the woods? It's like,
was it in an incubator? We don't know. Was it born in an incubator?
Maybe it's actually a baby. Yeah, and I also oh wait, no, this is you.
This is how we do the podcast.
Yeah, we forget whose turn it is.
Do you want to ask me a question and get me?
Oh. What are some retellings that you've read recently that you like?
Well, we both read Circe,
Yes.
which is a really cool retelling. We did that for the book club. People tuning in live right now because we're live streaming this probably also tuned in for that, which was great. And I actually don't know anything about the myth, the whole world of myths and gods and everything like that. So I kept looking it up throughout the story, which made the book really interesting because
it's like a drop-down menu.
It was. I was like, well, what was nice is reading it on Kindle, so I could actually just press the when she
That's
they would
magical
underline
shit.
I know, because it would be like underlined and I click it and I'm like, oh, cool. And
wouldn't that give you spoilers?
It did sometimes actually, because it tells you like the whole God story. I don't really care, but it would like
for me that would be like, oh.
But it was like shit. Like I don't know who fucking Hermes is or whatever that person's name. I don't know these people's names or what they did.
Have you ever seen the animated film Hercules?
I have not.
What?
Is it good?
You've never seen animated Hercules? It's got some of the best Disney songs ever.
I think this is out of my I'm too old.
Doesn't matter.
Like, you know what? I grew out like I'm like Little Mermaid era. That's like my stuff. You know, like that was when like Beauty and the Beast.
Hercules
and then by the
is
time
so
you got
good.
to, is it Disney?
Yeah.
Oh, see, I didn't even know. Like once you got to like Moana and Hercules, all those ones, like I was too old.
Moana's much newer than.
I don't know.
So much between Hercules and Moana.
Also, another comic book that I really like is Fables, which is a retelling of every fable story you have basically ever known, and they mix them with fairy tales. So it's like you have both like Rose Rat. The girl pricks her finger. What's that lady's name?
Aurora?
Is her name Aurora?
And the Sleeping Beauty?
Sleeping Beauty.
Why? This
What's
is
her
the second time we've had Sleeping Beauty problems on this show.
So, okay, Sleeping Beauty. So you have like Sleeping Beauty.
Rose Red.
But there's a Rose Red in Fable.
Rose Red is that Stephen King miniseries.
Whatever. Anyway, you have Little Boy Blue and you have, mixed with Sleeping Beauty. So you have like all these different things.
Sleeping Blue.
So but they like know each other. Like they live in the same community. Oh. And then they all live it mixes up. There's a farm where all the farm animals have to live because they can't live in the city because people don't want to see a walking pig.
That's terrible.
Yeah. So there's a farm where all the farm animals live with like some of the people who've done bad things. And then
it's very complicated.
Yeah, it's really cool comic.
So literary retailers, I think, are also a really cool way to expand your reading and also get yourself out of a book slump. Like if you're looking for new authors or looking for new genres, you pick your favorite fairy tale or classic story and look for a retelling of it. You can find a new author you like. You can, maybe if you've always wanted to read a sci-fi book, but you don't know where to start, and there's a sci-fi book that's like a retelling. You're like, oh, I love this original story, but this is in space. I'm familiar with this. I can just add some robots to it, and I could get into it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Ready this one?
Yes.
Cool way to get. But you just said that. I feel like
no
inclusive. Whatever.
No, this is a different one. This is also a cool way to get into a story you might not have originally.
Okay. Oh, I see. Yeah, and it's also, this is a cool way. This is how we do the podcast, everybody. Mallory goes, Brea, just read that. Getting a little behind the scenes. I'm like, where are we? Where am I? Where am I? It's also a cool way to get into a story you might not have originally liked. We all know a lot of classic literature, like we said, is not inclusive or feminist. Some of it has some problems. Some of it is just really boring.
Yeah.
But you can get into a classic story you've always avoided. For instance, a friend of the show, Sarah Benincasa, wrote a retelling of The Great Gatsby called Great.
Yep.
Which, by the way, I like that original book. But
I'm not no shade on The Great Gatsby.
Do not.
Yeah, some people find The Great Gatsby to be dated. There's so many retellings of pieces of classic literature. So we've been talking a lot about fairy tales and older stories. And really old, like Beowulf old, but there's Jane Austen retellings.
There's so many Jane Austen retellings.
So many
Frankenstein retellings.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things like that. Yeah.
So it's just a cool way to you could be like, oh, I read Frankenstein in school. I thought it was super boring. I never could get into it. Find a retelling of it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So you can send your thoughts on retellings to readingglassespodcast@gmail.com. And before we talk to author L.L. McKinney, we're going to take a quick break.
So just so you know what they're saying on the YouTube page, that they brought up Mary Spinster. We've talked about that one a lot, so I didn't
you had that in the outline.
I know, but I feel like we've talked about it so much that I didn't bring it up. But
Mary Spinster
we love
very
Mary
good.
Spinster
By Daniel Ortberg.
The name of the Great Gatsby retelling we just mentioned is called Great. And it'll be in our show notes next week. Okay. There's a lot of comments. I'm just reading like the top one, the recent ones.
So now it's time to solve a book tech problem. Whoa. Segment crossover this week.
Oh,
So
okay.
we're
A book tech problem.
So it's book tech and book problem combined. Amazing. Mm-hmm. So Christina writes in, my brother is having a baby, yay, and I want to make sure that the little one is set up for any books, magazines, comics, textbooks, etc. he might want straight through college. The tricky thing is they live out of state. Any tips or useful tools for tracking their wish and have lists and simplifying the whole part about getting the books to them? Brea, what should Christina do?
So I just saw the coolest thing on Kickstarter that guest of the show, Brooke Sitgraves, linked to. It's called the Little Feminist Book Club.
Oh!
And they send books to whoever you choose. I assume you can choose whoever you want. I mean, not with limits, but whatever. You can choose whoever you want. Every month, every 3 months, or just at Christmas, which I think is super rad. And
That's
we'll link
really
to
cool.
that in the notes. But I think like the main thing you can do for this child as they get older is to write this offer down and let them know that you're willing to do this, because when you get to college and you have to buy those expensive ass textbooks and you're like, oh my God, this is going to cost me $500, or I don't know, because that'll be in 20 years. It'll cost you $5 million because of inflation. I'm not sure how inflation works, but I think it'll be $5 million. By the time
this kid gets to college, we'll be paying in like jugs of water.
It's 45 bitcoins or whatever.
Or no, it's like a post-apocalyptic, like a dried rabbit in a gallon of water.
In a fire.
Yeah, here you go.
But I think that like just if this is what you want to do, make sure they know that throughout their lives, and make sure before every holiday, before birthday, send them, a letter, write them a note and say like, hey, don't forget, like, I'll buy you whatever book you want. Whatever, send me your books. Like, let me know what books you want, like when holidays are coming up. And because I am always great about updating my Amazon wish list, like right before the holidays, and I know that's when people start looking at it. But just a reminder that people should just remind them, and their student loan account will thank you later. Because I just think like if someone had paid for my textbooks in college, how much money I would have saved. I think that's like the greatest offer you could ever make somebody. What do you think, Mallory?
So Amazon is an obvious, easy choice for this. Christina, your brother can make a wish list that you can view and buy books from. But also, let's not forget that a lot of indie bookstores can order books and ship them for you. Mm-hmm. So I would find your brother's local indie bookstore and see if they have a wish list ordering program that you can enter your brother's address and just put your credit card information in.
Oh yeah. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
So you can go to just like IndieBound and do that. Because IndieBound saves your credit card information.
Yeah. So, and also, good old shared Google spreadsheets or a Word document can work. Your brother can put in the books. You can order them from wherever you want to order books from. And your brother, when they come in, your brother can cross them off the list. And then when the kid gets older, they can access the shared document themselves, whether it's a spreadsheet or just a Word document, and put what they want in there. Like, that way, they just put in the title. They don't have to see how much it is. And things, because of saved credit card information and saved addresses, it can make it really quick and easy to order them. And like, depending on, I don't know if your brother lives in the city or lives out somewhere where there is no indie bookstore, so you can kind of, choose wherever you're going to get your book from. But yeah, good old Goob.
I think being the book relative is a great thing. Because, you don't realize how much that stuff's going to add up and how much this is going to mean to this child, especially like when they're a teenager and they're like wanting to buy like weird stuff they don't want their parents to know about. Like being that book relative is a really cool thing.
Oh man, I have a really hilarious story about that. When I was a kid, so I come from a divorced family. So my dad would take us out every once in a while and like didn't know what to do with us. So we'd like buy us some things. And he took us to the Discovery Channel store. You remember that?
Yes.
And I bought a book called, I just grabbed the only book in the store, which I didn't even realize, I didn't know what it was, but it was called The Period Book.
Ooh.
I was in first grade. Immediately, and my dad didn't know what it was. He didn't even look. He just bought me a book, but it was like, it was like for kids, but it was like nude drawings of people and like how to put a tampon in.
Oh no.
And I brought it to school and I got in so much trouble.
I feel like that's fine for first grade. Whatever. If you're able to handle it at first grade, great. But yeah, that's crazy. But you got in trouble?
Yeah, I wish I had a cool aunt to buy me that book instead.
I think it's weird that they're like,
not bring it to school.
Do not talk about tampons in this school.
Yeah. Well, the funny part was when the principal came and talked to me about it, and like watching this principal try to talk to this like 10-year-old girl about tampons and like him being so awkward. It was so funny. It was worth it for that. But I wish I had a cool book aunt.
Cool book on.
Be the cool book aunt you wish to see in the world.
Mm-hmm.
So as always, we want to thank Danielle and Kathy who are on our Facebook group, and Chrissy and Rachel who moderate our Goodreads page. Remember that you can always buy Reading Glasses tote bags and t-shirts and bookmarks in the Maximum Fun store. There's a link in the show notes. And if you like the show, please rate and review us on iTunes. We're so close to 550 reviews. We're shooting for 600. Honestly, folks, it really, really helps us get more bigger guests. It helps us get ads. It helps us get like more love. I don't know. Everything. It just is good. It's really good for us. Yeah, it helps people to find us. It helps us reach more readers. It really, really is beneficial to us. So it's a great, easy, free way to help out the show. You can email us at readingglassespodcast@gmail.com. Find us on Twitter at readinggpodcast, on Instagram at readingglassespodcast, and you can always follow along on our bookish adventures using the general hashtag readingglassespodcast. Thanks for listening, and thanks for reading. All right, you want to answer some?
Yeah, I need to log into my thing. People are talking about the Great Gatsby book. Here, take this and see what people are talking about on there. I have to re-log in, and I don't want people to see me log into my Gmail.
People are just waving.
Okay.
Oh yeah, people are saying that they didn't know that we write out the episodes. Yes, we work off an outline. Someone said for some reason I thought they just sat in massive high back chairs. Nope.
Yep. Sean, do you need to take off?
Mm-mm.
Okay. Now I can actually not. It's not trying to log me out constantly.
And this is what Sean does during the episode. Say hi, Sean.
Logs into the Instagram thing and sends a wave.
Sean sits off in the corner and makes sure that we sound okay, and then we're not knocking things over.
Which you don't do very often.
Not very often.
Hold on.
I'm eating chocolate.
I'm gonna.
Okay, so we do 2 episodes every time we record because our episodes are pretty short,
Sean, you want some more donut?
and it saves us some time.
You're welcome.
What happened here?
Shout out to my friends Nikki and Rich for bringing me donuts.
Can y'all see Mallory? Okay.
I'm here.
Okay.
We have 42 viewers on this side.
They want to send us some long ass lists of various retellings. Sean, Sean, come say hi. They want you to say hi.
Sean, say hi. Why don't you turn it a little bit?
Mm-mm.
No. So,
Mm-mm.
hold on.
You're not gonna say hi?
Yeah, hi.
Oh, I forgot that I can't put my butt towards that side.
Well, you
So
can-
Sean sits over here in the corner.
That way, but that's fine.
Sean sits over there,
Mm-hmm.
and you could sit over there.
He could. I could do
Sean
that.
sits over there and makes sure that we sound okay,
Just sitting here.
and listens to us being ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. Tries not to laugh.
They're all saying hi to you.
This is like a call with my family back home. This is what it's like. Delay on things.
Someone said because of this podcast, they visited the Boston Public Library during
Oh,
their trip last week.
Boston Public Library is gorgeous.
That's cool. Okay,
All right, let me just.
now we're doing our second episode, which we don't have a guest on, so it's just us talking for a very long time.
Just making sure that everyone can get to the page.
People are saying, thank you for the work, Sean. Last few episodes before you joined were sometimes hard to hear. Listen.
Real talk. In case everyone hasn't noticed, Brea and I are not good with tech stuff, and we work really hard to make it sound as good as we can, but eventually we were like, we need to bring somebody in.
We're doing it.
Luckily, our friend Sean was willing to do it and has helped us immensely. Thank you, Sean. So I'll be thankful for Sean. Okay, can you see me over there?
Yeah.
See me over here. Okay. All right, episode number 2. Here, out of print episode, reading glasses. Here we go. Oh no.
Sorry, everybody. I'm trying to make it so the words aren't covering you up. Can everyone else see those words? Are you looking on the Instagram?
I can.
Can you see Mallory?
Yep.
Okay, all right.
I mean, the words are kind
The
of
words are
covered.
covered.
Maybe if I...
Honestly, I'm so tattooed, it looks just like normal me.
There we go.
Oh, here we go.
Okay.
Okay, here we go.
I think you can get rid of the words anyway.
Okay. Well,
You're listening to Reading Glasses, a show about book culture and literary life designed to help you read better. I'm writer, filmmaker, and book devourer Mallory O'Mara.
And I'm Brea Grant, actress, filmmaker, and e-reader. This episode, we're talking about out-of-print books and testing out ways to display your bookmarks.
But first... Oh, shit.
Who says but first?
Sometimes I do, sometimes you
I
do.
know.
I fucked that up, but you
Yeah.
do it again. I'm sorry.
But first...
Oh, you want to do the whole... Oh,
Okay, I'll do it again.
okay.
I'm Brea Grant. Quit laughing. I'm Brea Grant, actress, filmmaker, and e-reader. This episode, we're talking about out-of-print books and testing out ways to display your bookmarks. So fascinating. But first,
What are you reading, Brea?
I brought a physical book, which I rarely do.
I just read that!
Because we're doing a live stream. I'm reading, for my birthday, my friend Sydney gave me The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina by Roberto Aguirre. By Roberto Aguirre Sacasa. Artwork by Robert Hack. Lettering by Jack Morelli. Publisher John Goldwater. I have it all right in front of me, which I never have the physical book.
Hooray!
I'm about 3/4 of the way through it, but it's about Sabrina the Teenage Witch in the 1950s.
It's
and
wicked good.
she's 15, so I guess it's technically YA, and she's turning 16 and on the verge of becoming a true witch.
A true
Witch person, and it's fantastic. I'm kind of excited for the series.
I'm super excited for the series.
So part of it is me like trying to prep for the series, but also I love comic books, and my friend Sydney has recently gotten into comic books and gave it to me for my birthday.
Oh.
Sean is nodding because he knows.
Welcome to the comics world, Sydney.
What are you reading, Mallory?
So it is still, I know when this episode goes up, it'll be November, so we're past spooky season, which, to be fair, for me, all year round is spooky season. But it's not yet Halloween here. We're recording this on the 25th. Yes. So I am reading, I'm holding it up for the live stream. Yeah, I just started. It's a book called The Night Wanderer by Drew Hayden Taylor. And it is it's like a YA vampire story, but Drew Hayden Taylor is First Nation Canadian. So it's like a native story, and like takes a lot of native legends, and it's about this teenage girl and there's like all these, where she lives close to this lake, there's a lot of like creepy local legends, and her dad has taken in this lodger in their house, and he's kind of weird and spooky. So I just started it, but I'm really, really excited about it. I've been trying to read a lot. Ever since I read There by Tommy Orange, I was like, I don't read enough native writers. And so I've been working hard to search for more and find more, and I'm really, really excited about this one. So that's The Night Wanderer by Drew Hayden Taylor.
And mine is The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina by Roberto Aguirre Sacasa, drawn by Robert Hack.
So we're going to take a moment to answer a very special recommendation request from my friend, author and podcaster Mike Benedetto. Mike is the co-host of the show Ian Bag Bought a House, which is like car talk, but for contractors. It's really funny. It's awesome. So Mike wants to know, what should I put on my list of first books to read, and where would your number one... What should I put on my list of first books to read, and what would be your number one pick if you were me?
Now, I do not understand this question. Can I just say?
Well, I'm about to explain.
Okay.
So Mike listens to Reading Glasses, and he's part of the curious phenomenon that we've both experienced, that we have a lot of listeners who don't read. Not they can't read, they just don't like to read.
You saw the look on my face. Okay. They don't like to read, but they're like, I like listening to these two ladies talk about books.
Yes.
Okay.
I've had
It's true. There are a few people who have reached out and said,
and they're like, I don't really read, but I love you guys.
But I love that you guys say shit your pants on the podcast.
Yes.
Like
yeah, we actually had someone the other day who reached out and was like, I don't really read books, but I love Reading Glasses. You guys are super funny. I never get into reading culture, but I just like the show. So, but Mike listens to Reading Glasses and is like, you know what should I read? What should the first book I read in a really long time be? So if you're trying to get into reading, first off, thanks to all the people who listen to the show, even though they don't read. You're amazing, and we don't understand, but we're very excited about it. So my big recommendation for someone who doesn't normally read but wants to get into books and reading culture is a book called Last Days of Video by Jeremy Hawkins. It's sort of like a book version of Clerks, like in the fact that it is literally a book, but it's Clerks took place in a dying video store instead of a convenience store. So it's super snarky. It's super funny. It's less than 300 pages. It's by Soft Skull Press, which is a small press that I really like. And it's paced like a Kevin Smith movie. So it's perfect for people who are like, people who don't really read books and would rather wait for the movie. This book is kind of like a movie. It's just like such a fun, fast-paced, easy read.
That's cool.
What should Mike read, Brea?
This is really hard because I was like, I don't know this person at all. So I spent a lot of time thinking about books about houses, books about contractors, books about carpenters. And I was just like, I don't know any books like that. I'm sure there are some, but I just like couldn't think of any. So I just went back and I was like, okay, this is purely a suggestion based on Brea Grant in high school, who was like, I like the assigned books I'm getting assigned, but I want to read something outside of my like high school curriculum. I want to read something just for me. And I discovered Kurt Vonnegut.
Oh, that's a good one.
So, because I feel like it's a really accessible one, but it's still kind of a classic, but it's weird enough to where someone who doesn't read often would be like, oh, this is cool. And so my suggestion is Breakfast of Champions, because not only is it a pretty easy, cool read, it has pictures. Because there's little drawings throughout the book.
Oh, that's a really good thing.
It's easy. It's a classic. You carry it around. People are going to be like, oh, I love Vonnegut. Like, people are going to talk to you about this, Mike. They're going to want to talk to you about Kurt Vonnegut. So I feel like that alone, it's going to like, inspire you to maybe read some more, because maybe you'll make some bookish friends.
Yeah. Well, Mike already has bookish friends. He has me now. So Mike is my partner Alan's best friend.
Okay.
And a great writer and a great podcaster. So hopefully we can get him into the world of reading.
All right. Follow up with Mike. Let's find out what
we're gonna keep everyone posted on Mike's reading situation. So you can always email us at readingglassespodcast@gmail.com. And quick bookmark. Again, I talked about this last week. But my book is up on NetGalley. So for all the librarians out there, you can get a digital copy of my book. And if you love it and want to support it, a really great way to do that is to go on Library Reads and vote for it. The deadline is February 1st, but it really, really supports my book and helps me out a lot. I have a very exciting librarian announcement coming up. I don't know when I'm going to be able to announce it, but it has been confirmed, but I can't tell people yet.
Sneak peek of an announcement to come. That's what everyone loves. Is an announcement.
Everyone loves vague announcements that you can't tell what they mean. But yes, thank you so much for all the great librarian support. Thank you to my library marketer person, Lynette Kim, over at Hanover Square Press. She's fantastic and has been helping me with all of this. But yeah, so before we talk about out of print books, we're going to take a quick break.
Do you want to do a customer review? Customer review?
Oh yeah, let's do a 5-star review. I have them saved.
Do you? Okay, I was trying to find one right now.
So
that
good.
was not happening.
My favorite one was the recent one, the lady who was like 4 stars.
Oh yeah, we got a 4-star review recently where
that
she
was
like,
really funny.
What'd she say? It was too silly?
No, we were too juvenile for her because she was 68, but she listens carefully to each episode. That was very funny.
They're figuring out our they didn't know we recorded 2 at a time, so now they're like, everybody on the YouTube page is like, wait, so they're saying recently read when but yeah, it's because that's why you can figure out which one we're recording first and second. Sometimes we record 3 at a time, which is wild.
Yes, that's a really tough day for us.
Usually that's because we're catching up, which we're kind of doing today.
Okay. These are really long.
You want to do it at the end, and then we'll come back? Oh, you have them saved.
Yeah, because I'm crazy. But I
This is what it's like to record a
shit. I screenshotted it, but I cut off the top, so I don't know the name. Hold on, I'll look it up.
I'm going to get to the top of the book. That's not. My boyfriend makes me bookmarks special for each of the books I'm reading. That's what someone just said on Instagram. Can you believe that?
Can you? What?
Yeah.
He makes her a bookmark for every book?
Pretty nice.
Marry that guy.
Marry him. Oh, shit. Excuse me. Why is this hard?
I don't have service in here.
Oh, okay. We'll do it later. Or we won't do one this week.
Well, I have one saved, but it's not. It doesn't. She doesn't say what she's reading.
Yeah.
All right.
This is the part of the podcast where we figure out what we're doing.
Okay. So our 5-star review for this week is from Kiggity. It says 5-star review, best work listening. I started listening to this while working and I'm obsessed. Mallory and Brea are wickedly funny, witty, and have 2 wonderful and unique perspectives on reading. My favorite part of each episode is taking note what they're reading and checking it out of the library. Yay! Whether I like it or not, I give those books an honest shot, and more often than not, I love them.
Oh, great.
High five for library love and for checking out what we're reading. That's
Awesome.
really cool.
Yeah, that's a lot of books.
Yes, so if you review the show, it is a huge help to us, but if you give us a 5-star review, we will try to read it on the show.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And come up with ideas of what we should do for our 600th review. When we get 600, we'll do something cool, but we don't know what yet.
Yeah,
so
if you have an
let us
idea
know.
of what to do when we get to 600 reviews, please let us know.
Is this fun? We don't know.
I think people
this
like this.
fun?
We still have 41 people watching over here. This week, it's all about out-of-print books. What exactly does it mean when a book is out of print? How does that happen? What does that mean for you as a reader if you want to find a book that's gone out of print? So, a book is out of print when it's no longer being published, aka not being printed. Copies still exist in the world, though. The traditional definition is that if a book has a print run and it hasn't been printed at why can't I say this?
It's written wrong.
Did I fuck it up?
It just says it hasn't been printed. That's why.
Oh.
In there. Maybe that'll help.
Thank you. So, a book is out of print when it's no longer being published, aka not being printed. Copies still exist in the world, though. The traditional definition is that if a book has a print run and it hasn't been printed in at least 5 years, it's out of print. The lines get a little blurry for ebooks and print-on-demand books, but that's the basic way of defining it. Nowadays, it's more rare for a book to go out of print.
You want to know some of the most sought-after out-of-print books of 2017?
Yes.
There's not a list for this year because this year is not over yet. Arranged Marriage by Diva
Karuni.
Cryptonomicon by Neil Stephenson.
It was out of
surprised
print.
by- Yeah,
Wow.
last published was 2012.
Crazy.
You Shall Know Our Velocity by Dave Eggers, and a bunch more, including The Field Guide to Western Reptiles and Amphibians by Robert C. Stebbins. By the way, just because these are out of print, it doesn't mean they're worth a lot of money. It just means people are searching for them, and these are the ones that people are searching for most that are out of print.
I like to think about the person who's out there going, I need the field guide to
I
Western
need that field guide.
reptiles
but
and
it's
amphibians.
It's worth a lot of money. It's worth a lot of money to me.
I have the Eastern guide, but I need the Western guide.
I have Southern, I have Northern, I have Eastern. But what about all those Western amphibians?
So before a book comes out, the publisher creates a print run of the books. It's basically a big order of a book. A number. Why did I write this so stupidly?
I didn't write it.
I wrote this. I'm just gonna.
Okay.
Yeah, sure. So before a book comes out, the publisher creates a print run of the books, which is basically a big order of the books from the printer. So most print runs today are big numbers. They're like in the thousands. And if this sells out, the publisher will have to order another print run. And you can see which printing your book is with the copyright information at the start of the book. And so this is, some people get this confused. A book can be in the public domain. We already did a whole episode on public domain books. So there's a difference between a book being out of print and the book's copyright. Those are two different things.
Go on.
So, like, a book might be in the public domain and the copyright have run out, but that doesn't mean it's out of print.
Yes,
If that
got
makes
it.
sense.
Okay. Yeah. So when all those books are sold
In the print run.
yeah, and the publisher doesn't want to print anymore or can't print anymore for whatever reason, that means that book is out of print. That's what we're
Yes.
talking about.
So, what do you do when a book you want to read is out of print? It can be hard to find out of print books, and sometimes another publisher will pick the rights back up.
Yeah,
Which is
just like
cool.
those TV shows that get canceled and then
Yes.
all of a sudden they're on the CW or whatever.
That's a
They're on
great.
Hulu.
That's a great way to think of it.
Yeah.
Like Brooklyn Nine-Nine went out of print very recently, very briefly, and then another network picked them up.
Exactly.
So I recently read 2 amazing books, both by Dorothy McCardle, The Uninvited and The Unforeseen. They're both older Irish ghost stories, and they were published by Tramp Press, which is an independent Irish press, and they do something called Recovered Voices, where they get the rights to old, out-of-print books, and they republish them. And a lot of indie presses do this, actually. It's really cool. Small Beer Press does this. They'll find books that like Small Beer does this with like sci-fi, fantasy genre books. They'll find ones that are like been out of print for a while. They'll find whoever has the rights to them, and they'll give them a new cover and do a cool like reprint of them.
That's really cool. I wonder, like, I guess Dorothy McCardle, she's probably not alive anymore.
She's wicked dead.
Okay. But I was thinking, like, if I had 2 books that were out of print and, like, they were hard to find, like, is that an honor because your books are worth a lot, maybe worth more money? Or are you pissed because you're like, why are they not still publishing my books?
Well, again, I feel like there's so many different ways for a book to go out of print. Like, it might not have sold really well, or, like, the publisher could have gone under. Like, something could have happened.
True,
there's so many reasons for a book to go out of print.
So many of them. Like,
yes,
that was my question
thing.
about Cryptonomicon, where I'm like, I see that in like every bookstore, and I'm like, right, because there's probably just so many fucking copies of that floating around. I don't know the reasoning behind it, but that was like what I was thinking.
No, and that's actually another option or another reason that they just printed so many that they're like, yeah, well, we don't need to print any more of these right now.
I do feel like this happens like as a movie trope sometimes, where people are like, you gotta find this book, it's out of print. Like it's like hard to find out of print, but just because it's out of print doesn't mean it's hard to find.
Exactly. Yeah. That's sort of what we want to do with this episode, is dispel that myth of like, oh, it's out of print. Like, and then like you said, it doesn't, like, just because a book is out of, like, if you pick up a book and it's like, ooh, it's out of print, it doesn't mean it's valuable.
No, that's true. That's true. And let's talk about what to do if it is out of print and you're looking for it.
Yes.
Time to become a book
detective. Which is really, that's the career that I truly wanted.
Book detective?
You know that terrible book, The Ninth Gate, with Johnny Depp?
Is that a book?
It was a movie.
Oh, no.
I fucked up. It's a book.
No, we know, but that's your thing. That's where you're a Smurf and you say book instead of movie.
Well,
you know that book that just came out.
Halloween. It's an adaptation of The Club Dumas. Which is a book.
Okay.
But it's a movie that's really bad with Johnny Depp, and he's like a satanic book detective. He's like a rare book detective, and he like finds rare books for people who want to buy them, but he ends up having to find the devil's book.
Ooh.
And it's really good concept. And I like, when I first saw that movie, I watched the movie before I saw the book. I was like, that's what I want to do. I want to find Satan books. I want to be a Satan book detective.
How many? That's one person's job probably in the whole world.
I know, and I have to find them and kill them and take their job. Because that's all I want.
I just imagined you in like a detective hat with a detective like coat on, and then you open it up and inside it's just books.
Yes, that's what I want.
And
that is literally what I want my life to be. No, it's books on one side, cats on the other.
No, that does not fall into book detective.
But I need my sidekick.
You take out your glasses, like you're like, normally a detective would have like a, what do you call
magnifying glass?
A magnifying glass, but yours is just a book.
It's just
doesn't make
all of my tools are replaced with books.
Yeah,
but that's totally what I want, and that's what you have to do if a book that you want is out of print. So, I mean, one thing that, like, the Ninth Gate came out before the internet was really a big thing. That's the problem now, is that the internet has made it so much easier to find out of print books. Amazon, eBay, other online booksellers have millions of used copies of out of print books available. There's some rare horror books that I want. I find out that they're out of print, and like you just go on eBay or something. What happened?
I think I guess we went too long on YouTube, on Instagram, and just stopped.
Oh no.
Do we want to share it? Do we want to have this shared live?
Sure. Yeah, you could just go on eBay and find a copy of it. So it's not as crazy as it used to be, unless it's like a really rare. Again, out of print and rare don't necessarily mean the same thing.
Yeah,
but they can.
Yeah. I think that's it.
Nope, one more.
One more?
Yep.
Oh, Bookfinder?
Yep.
So an easy way, literally the first thing I typed in, I was like, out of print books. And the thing that comes up is bookfinder.com.
Yes.
And Bookfinder is easy. You go in there, you type in the book. It finds tons of places to buy that book. And they specialize in out of print and rare books. And they don't just link to Amazon; they link to all sorts of other book sites. So
yes.
that was a really easy way, and that's where I found all that information about the top searched for books.
Yes, and it will tell if you don't know if a book is out of print or not. Bookfinder will tell you. Mm-hmm. So now you too can become a book detective.
You too can fill your jacket full of books and cats and walk around with a magnifying glass made of a book.
All I want in life. So you can send your thoughts on out-of-print books to readingglassespodcast@gmail.com. And before we look at some book tech, we're going to take a quick break. So it's time to look at some book tech, advances in bookish technology. And actually, this week is more of a book craft segment. we've gotten some. I love that you laughed, but we actually got a few emails from listeners about the best way to display bookmarks, and we've got some cool ideas for you. Brea, this is your dream. It's basically the crossroads between book tech and Pinterest. So, how should people display their bookmarks?
I don't know. This is my dream because I don't collect bookmarks.
Yeah, but you like crafting.
I do, but I was like, what do I collect? I like pictures, yes. I like chocolate bars, yes. Bookmarks, I do not collect those. Those are not in my collection.
You don't collect chocolate bars. You eat them.
I collect them in my mind. I remember them right here. There's a collection of chocolate bars.
You know in those like cartoons when a warrior has like killed someone and the ghost of them stays with them for the rest of their life?
Yes.
I feel like you have the ghost of 1,000 chocolate bars.
They just are like following me. They're like watching me do stuff throughout the day. They grow eyes after I've eaten them. I find that bookmarks, I immediately lose them because I don't really use them. But when someone sent this, I was like, oh, I'm going to look at Pinterest at this link that Mallory just sent me because she was like, check out these. And I was like, ooh, these are really cool. And made me go, maybe I do want to collect bookmarks. Maybe I'm a collector of books. Maybe this is a new hobby for me.
This is literally the first time in my life I've ever suggested Pinterest for people, but like this is what Pinterest was made for. So if you have a bunch of bookmarks and you're trying to figure out how to display them, go to Pinterest.
Yeah. So one time I made this thing that I used to display photos, but you could use it for bookmarks. And this was one they used quite a bit, which is that you take an old frame, like any frame, you can find
like
these
picture frame.
Like a picture frame. You can find them at like at Goodwills or at junk sales or yard sales, and like they don't have to be that nice. And you can paint it whatever color you want, and then you just take a piece of wire and you go across it like 3 or 4 times, and then you go to Joann's fabric, or like
I love that you
like
and Joanne are like on a first name basis.
Well, that's what she calls it, Joanne.
Like
a woman named Joanne owns
it's
that.
not Joanne's Fabrics for Brea, it's just Joanne.
Well, we don't support Hobby Lobby anymore, right?
Oh yeah, fuck Hobby
Yeah,
Lobby.
so I don't know what their policy is now, but I know there was a minute. So now I'm talking about Joann's. Also, there's Joann's nearer to me than there is a Hobby Lobby. I don't even know if there is a Hobby Lobby in LA.
I don't think so.
Anyway, there's a Joann's in the Valley. But you can go and buy these little cute little clothespins, and then you use them and you put them. It's very easy. It is a crafting level 1.
It's a crafting level Mallory.
2, yeah, because you got to be able to nail something in and attach a wire, but the wire is like you can like fucking tie it on the back. It's not that hard. Like so, it's like literally, yeah. If crafting is 1 to 10, 10 being
crafting
expert.
is Mallory to Brea.
I don't think I'm a 10, but you can, you can totally anyone can do it, and it's a really cute way to do it, and especially if your home has like sort of a shabby chic look. If your home has like cool like dark look, you can like make this and it will like really fit in, I think.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's a smart idea.
Yeah, I really liked that idea. What about you? Do you display your bookmark?
Well, everyone knows I love my bookmark scabbard. So Alan got me this.
Yes, guys, she said scabbard.
I said scabbard. Alan, this was Alan's idea. I love my partner so much. He's perfect. So he got me this like antique sword scabbard, but I put my bookmarks in it, but I like fan them out on the top so you can see them. So I picked all my favorites and I put them in there. But I checked out the Pinterest page and like I can't believe I looked at Pinterest for this episode.
Have you never looked at Pinterest?
I've used it for work for like vision boards for stuff.
Yeah. Vision boards? You mean like inspiration boards?
Yeah.
A vision board is where you go and you like put stuff on there that you're like Oprah because I want to be on Oprah one day, or like you put like a dog because you want to get a dog.
You want to be a dog one day.
That's
That's Brea's vision board. It's just a bunch of dogs.
like you make them. I used to make them every like New Year's, and I'd cut stuff out of magazines, and I'd make a vision board, and then I'd be embarrassed for anyone to see it in my office
because it's all dogs.
It's just 100%. So
dogs and chocolate bars. Yeah, I've never made a vision board. Yeah, I guess so.
Like an inspiration board.
Yeah. For movies and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like the idea of those bookshelves. You know those bookshelves for picture books? So they're like very thin and they go on the wall and they have like a rod that goes across it. So you can put the picture books face out.
Oh, yeah.
And the rod keeps them in. I saw a few of those and that's how people would display their bookmarks.
Oh, that's cute.
So it's only like a couple of inches
wide.
Wide?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Deep, yeah. It's only a couple inches deep. You hang it on the wall, and instead of putting your picture books in there, you just put your bookmarks display up. And I think that's perfect, especially if you use your bookmarks, so you can like easily pull them out and access them without like knocking them over. Like some of these bookmark displays on Pinterest were really cool, but they were like it would be hard if you were going to take one out and use them constantly.
Well, this is definitely a difference between a Brea and a Mallory because like I don't often use a bookmark. So mine would strictly be like I went to this place, here's a bookmark to display it. Right.
right here.
This is gonna make everyone really angry, but I actually dog-eared my comic book page.
You know what? I am pro dog earing if that's what you want to do. God damn it. No more dog ear shame. Yeah, I mean, I have a great bookmark collection. It's something that I talked about on the show. I like one of my favorite souvenirs from a bookstore, but I use them all the time. Like the one that I have in this book, The Night Wanderer, is from the Mysterious Bookshop in Manhattan, and it's red to go with the red book. But that's why the scabbard's nice, so I can just sort of take them out. So the picture book shelf is sort of, I think, the perfect way to display your bookmarks.
Yeah.
I actually might get one of these myself. So if you want to send us a book tech problem to solve, if you want to send us some book tech that you would like us to test out, send it to readingglassespodcast@gmail.com. Now let's solve a bookish problem from one of our listeners. Jeff writes in, I'm planning a move a 10-hour drive away. I am daunted by the thought of moving all my heavy, somehow multiplying books. Any suggestions from your end on how to move books easier? Brea, what should Jeff do?
I like that he says they're somehow multiplying, like maybe those books are having sex with each other and giving birth to tiny books inside those, like on his shelves. Like he wakes up one day and he's like, oh, where'd this little tiny book come from?
It's all slimy and weird.
So my trick, which is both good and also a really terrible idea, is to mix books with things that are light. So you have a box that's half book, half pillow.
Oh yeah, that's
half
smart.
book, half stuffed animals from your childhood. Half book, half cotton balls. Do something really.
Like, I have all these cotton balls.
They can't have their own box. But this is also a terrible idea because when you're unpacking, you open, you go, "What is this?" Because it's just
cotton balls and books.
God damn it! If I'm going to label a box, because I will not. I'm about to move again, and I am not going to label a box. I'm about to leave it. Sean's looking at me like I'm crazy. I'm moving in 3 months. But I literally thought about.
Okay, you're coming with Sean,
and I like haven't.
I would label things for you.
You will label my boxes for me?
Yes.
Sean says to label my
Sean
boxes.
is the most.
I cannot. I cannot label a box, and so I open it up, and I'm like, well, this is just all pillows, and so I put it in, the closet, the linen closet, as if I have one of those, a room with that instead of the library.
House.
Yeah, instead of like a library room or something where the books go. You're gonna be carrying those boxes all around your house. You're gonna carry them to the closet, then you're gonna carry them to the library. You're gonna carry them to the cotton ball drawer, and then to the library. Guys, I use so many cotton balls.
I want to see your cotton ball drawers. See, this isn't a problem for me because most of my boxes are books.
Yeah. Okay. So what do you do?
So first up, we have done episodes on this, but definitely do a pass through them to see what you really want.
Yes.
Sell, donate the rest. That really helps. Nothing is worse than when you do a big move and you're putting your books away and you're like, oh, I have like 3 copies of this book. I moved it to this place when I could have just like donated it before I had to haul it all the way over here.
Mm-hmm. And it's easy to get rid of shit when you're moving because you're like, I don't want to carry this.
Oh, that's the best way because you're like, do I love this book enough to pack it away, haul it somewhere, and then unpack it?
Mm-hmm.
So I've got a couple good tips for this. The obvious small boxes, nothing bigger than 12 to 14 inches on each side. The very first time I moved, I moved into my own apartment. I think I was I moved in with other people before, but the first time I had my own place, I was 23. And I was like, I had to also move by myself. So I was like, I'll just make it as quick and easy as possible. And I thought I would put all of I was like, I'll get one big box and put all my books in it.
I thought you were going to say the trash, because when I was like 23 and we've always put stuff in trash bags. That's an awful idea.
Terrible idea. Well, I put this in like a huge box, and I literally, it was like a cartoon. I tried to lift it up and the bottom just like fell right out. And I was like, oh, I need more boxes. So don't do that. Second, hot tip, put it in a rolling suitcase.
Oh yeah, that's true. Rolling suitcase is really that's the golden gem of moving.
Oh yeah.
That is the like, hey, you're gonna be better off if you just put everything in your rolling.
Yep.
Those suitcases should not be empty when you're moving them.
Oh no. Fill those bad boys up and then you can just roll them out of the house.
Yeah.
Obviously it doesn't help you. You've got a lot of stairs to contend with, so plan wisely.
Yeah.
But and also if you're worried about hardcovers getting banged up in there, throw some clothes in there with them.
Or cotton balls.
Brea's extensive cotton ball collection.
I don't even think I've ever used a cotton ball. I don't know why I think that I don't keep them around.
Oh, I use them to take nail polish off.
I use toilet paper.
The little flakes come off when you do that, though. And then my cat.
I'm not going to buy something strictly to take nail polish off. But then I'm wearing.
You know what's weird? I've never bought cotton balls, but we just have a bunch.
Yeah, that is weird.
Uses them.
Do you know I was just at a garage sale? Oh. It's just in a garage
Please
sale.
do not tell me you bought cotton balls at a garage sale.
No, but someone was giving away a bag of, I knew the person, giving away a bag of Q-tips. And I was like,
no.
yeah,
no.
I took them.
No.
Yes, I did, and I've been using them.
Take you someone that's
And
that's
I
how you
stick them
get
in my ears. So many things people hate.
That's how you get like Q-tip ghosts.
It's not like you gave me used Q-tips. It's not like he was like, have these, he was moving and he didn't want to take all this bathroom stuff. So he had a ton. I think he had cotton balls too, but I was like, I don't know what to do with this. But he had like a ton of stuff. And so I was like, and a bunch of stuff he was like,
I
oh, this
imagine
was
you
all
like sidling up to him and you're like, are you gonna use those Q-tips?
He was like, these are all my ex-girlfriends. He had a bunch of nail polish and stuff. And so I
Ex-girlfriends
took nail
Q-tips.
polish. I took ex-girlfriends Q-tips. And they were free. He was just giving it away. So they're definitely full of germs.
They're definitely full of germs, maybe ghosts. You don't
The
know.
ghost of his ex-girlfriend.
And now they're in your ear. You like pull the ghost out like a handkerchief. Oh, Brea, no.
I'm sorry I took that. But listen, if you listen to the show, you know I love something free. And especially if it's possibly something's wrong with it, I'm taking that thing home. Because I have to see what the deal is. If there's like a bookshelf or there's something on the side of the road and I'm like, maybe it's covered in urine, I'll take it home to see.
Just to see. Oh, Brea. Oh,
I'm sorry, I
Brea.
interrupted you. So what are your other tips for moving?
That's it. That's all I got.
Okay, good.
Oh God. My favorite story for this is that one time when I first moved in, Alan had one of those like carpet cat trees.
Oh, I know this. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you told the story in the shop.
Oh, have I?
I don't know.
We can cut it if I have.
Okay.
Okay, and it was like kind of gross, and we were getting rid of it because we have a bigger cat tree now because we have a lot of cats. And I was like, oh, gonna throw this old cat tree in the garbage, and he was like, oh, from whence it came. And I was like, what are you talking about? And Alan was like, oh yeah, I found that in the trash. And I was like, you found this cat tree in the garbage and brought it into the house? And he was like, well, I found all the cats in the trash too. And I was like, fair point. Touche. So if you want us to solve your reader problems, send it to readingglassespodcast@gmail.com. And as always, we want to thank Danielle and Kathy, who run our Facebook group, and Chrissy and Rachel, who moderate our Goodreads page. Remember, you can always buy Reading Glasses tote bags and shirts and bookmarks in the Maximum Fun store if you want to support us. Link in the show notes. They're very cool. We are very biased about that, but if you want to, you can show off your love of reading, show off your love of reading glasses. And if you like the show, please rate and review us on iTunes. It's really great for us. It helps us reach more readers. It helps us get more guests. It helps us get more sponsors and feed our pets.
And we'll read your reviews on the show.
Yeah, if you have a 5-star review and tell us what you're reading or what book you like to give to people, we will read it on the show. And you can email us at readingglassespodcast@gmail.com. Find us on Twitter at readinggpodcast, on Instagram at readingglassespodcast, and you can always follow along on our bookish adventures using the general hashtag readingglassespodcast. Thanks for listening, and thanks for reading.
I just had the realization that I haven't uploaded today's podcast.
Oh!
I am so sorry, everybody.
Oh my God.
I literally was thinking about other things this morning. We have a lot of questions and things on that YouTube page if you want.
Oh, I can't look at them.
Well, someone wrote, have you ever seen Cast a Deadly Spell?
Yes, I have seen Cast a Deadly Spell. It was an HBO special. Yes, it was I don't know why I'm talking to her. It's a great HBO special. It's kind of Lovecraftian. It's got some actor dude that I can't remember the name of, but it's very good. I don't know why people are asking me that, but
because of that book detective thing.
Oh, yes.
Someone says they put their books in reusable shopping bags to move them.
Oh, that's smart.
Sorry, I'm having to upload our thing right now. I just totally forgot. So just this moment, literally a moment ago. I can't see what I'm doing right. Thank you for tuning in, everybody. Some people had to leave because they had stuff to do, which we totally understand.
We totally understand. I'm checking right now to see.
But a lot of people watched, and these episodes that you're listening to will be edited and will go up next week and the week after. So you'll get to see them all. All the things you saw, all the things you can hear that we cut out. Or don't cut out. Okay, now the new Reading Glasses is up.
Sorry about that. Yes, you should check out the new episode today. We're really excited about it. It's our Halloween episode with Ben, comic writer Ben Blacker, with his new comic Hex Wives that we both really, really liked. And it's all about spooky comics and Halloween comics. We had a lot of fun recording it.
So, Sarah asks if we keep the show's Amazon wish list updated with book tech. We do. It hasn't been updated in a second, but we should update it.
Yeah, we're going to update it. We check it every once in a while.
There's stuff on there. We do have that Amazon wish list. And if there's things you think we should review, you could send it to us and we'll add them on there.
Yeah.
Like that's helpful to us too. Like there's things you want to see reviewed. No one wants to know if we are speed readers. Do we have any tips for reading faster?
Oh yeah, we're gonna do an episode on speed reading.
But we did an episode on reading quickly, did we? No.
No,
And this is for Sean too, they
You've
said.
talked about it before.
About speed reading or reading fast?
You've touched on both, but
Yeah.
like you maybe haven't done a full episode.
Also,
I'm not a speed reader, what I would call a speed reader, because I think that's a very specific thing. But if I have to read fast, I can. I do not often choose. I think that's sort of like what I do.
I do read really. I don't know if I don't speed read in the way that I use speed reading techniques. I just read very quickly.
Because there's a speed reading technique that is like something specific.
Yeah. Also,
it's not very fun.
No,
it is not. It's not fun. We are going to do an episode on it, and also shout out to another Maximum Fun show. Oh no, Ross and Carrie. Ross is a friend of ours, and he's been on the show. Oh no, Ross and Carrie did an episode where they investigated and did a speed reading class. It's a really fun episode. It's really interesting. Definitely worth checking out. I guess I can't. I just was like, I'll put that link in the show notes, but we're not recording a show right now. This is just.
But that's a good idea for a show. And if y'all have ideas for shows, please send them to us. We always like to hear what people want to hear about.
Yeah.
This is great. Everybody's writing in a lot of fun stuff, telling us about how they keep their bookmarks and stuff.
Cool.
Sorry we didn't get to all the comments, and then I'm sorry anybody who was watching on Instagram, because Instagram cuts you off after an hour.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
It was like counting down, and I was like, "What's it counting down to?" That's why I got distracted. But thank y'all for tuning in. We'll leave this. Should we leave this up live? No. Because the podcast episode will go up.
Oh, we can't spoil it.
We don't want to spoil it, although you all already have spoilers. But
oh my god, I guess they just got a double episode.
Double episode. People said they're gonna.
So we will hold this back until the 2 episodes come out.
Yeah. Okay. Someone says they love my wallpaper. It's not mine. Someone else put this wallpaper in, and I think it's not wallpaper.
It's not. It's fabric.
It's fabric. It's fabric.
It's soundproofing. Are there any other questions to answer?
There's a bunch way back, but I think it's fun. They said she's wicked dead. Everybody says it's awesome. So thank y'all for tuning in. And
I'm just checking the reading glasses email just in case.
There's a bunch on Instagram too, but I'm not gonna go through those right now. Yeah. I'm closing it. Closing up.
Okay, we're closing.
Bye, everybody.
Thank everyone. Wait, get Sean in here. Tilt the thing so the whole reading glasses.
It's everybody.
It's the reading glasses team. Thanks all for joining us. This was great.